party in Miami. Miami.
Hello, golf fanatics. Billy Ho is here for another preview and research show. This time we are heading over to Valspar, closing out the Florida swing, sort of toward the Gulf side, Tampa. And this is going to be spitting some hot, deadly venom. The next leg is Innisbrook Resort and the Copperhead course. It's a best of the rest event, so it's not anything major as far as money goes. 1.5 million to the winner. Tough spot to get the elite type of players in there, but they did a good job of making this field pretty strong. So we're going to go kind of take a look at the course. We're going to take a look at some stats. We're going to take a look at a few players, and I kind of tiered them up for you this time: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And so when pricing comes out, you can maybe try to build you a player pool, and they're just kind of players that I like, that I think are in pretty good form right now. This is another course that is kind of volatile. You can miss a cut one year and then come back the next year and top 5 and be competitive. So keep that in mind. I think that the week coming off of players creates opportunity for those that do the research, can have an advantage. So thank you for joining me. Quick plug, check out the horse racing content. It's absolute fire. The Kentucky Derby is coming very soon, and I have an organized playlist with all the prep races, all the previews, profiles, horses, everything. I'm going to start piecing together some late Derby pools and do some past performances on some of the elite horses. And as we get closer to the Derby, start building our own player pool as far as horses go, and maybe in some different tiers and whatnot, as far as when we start getting these points together. I am local to Churchill Downs, born and raised Louisville, Kentucky, so I do have extensive knowledge of the track. Lastly, join the new DraftKings contest. I completely almost forgot about this. I've expanded the payout. I wanted to bump it up. We didn't get it filled the way I wanted to, but it's still a good payout. Top 5 finishers, up to 75 entries. I bumped it $1. So pretty decent payout. I forgot who was up there leading. I wasn't one of them, but best of luck to those who are up there to the top. Now let's get started. Copperhead Golf Course. Very different from TPC Sawgrass, much less water, tree-lined fairways, very tight off the tee. Players will be clubbing down, which will make for those longer iron buckets. There's plenty of elevation changes to go along with the course. Dog legs, it is an unusual par 71. It has the four par 5s, but it has 5 par 3s. And also, obviously, the big feature is the snake pit, kind of similar to a couple of weeks ago at Arnold Palmer's place, the Bear Trap. This is the snake pit. It's holes 16 to 18. It adds a real bite to the closing stretch, especially on a Sunday. Unlike Sawgrass's 17th, the par 3 here is just long and hard. There's no water, but it is a beast of a par 3, about 220 yards of pure carry, elevation, guarded by deep bunkers on all sides. The bogey rate on the snake pit of each individual hole is double that of the birdie rate. So that is going to make a big difference. The course usually does kind of play drier, firmer, faster, but be mindful, the weather 10-day outlook does have some significant rain in the forecast. We'll have to monitor where it's going to be at, whether it's going to be Thursday night into all day Friday, like it looks like right now, or it moves into the weekend more, or it moves closer to the first 2 days. But that heavy rain could definitely affect how the course plays, because the one thing it's going to do is soften up the golf course, which will help. Then the next thing, if that happens, you can guarantee the more receptive golf course and a high probability of those preferred lies. Lift, clean, and place. You hit the ball out in the fairway, you can pick the ball up, clean it, place it back, play it like that. You start to get that kind of an advantage, and some of these dudes, you're going to be affecting your player pool, where you're not just going to get hammer time guys like Sam Burns that are going to whack it out there and play, you're going to be looking for more of those precision type guys that are landing it in the fairway all the time. So, key stats will be obvious. Off the tee, distance and accuracy are both down. So, you either want to be looking at total driving or you want to be looking at good drives gained. Good drives gained are those that, whether they're in the fairway or they miss the fairway, they still reach the green in regulation amount of shots. So that's what you're looking for there. Now, you're going to see a lot of the 150 to 200 yard buckets. All kinds of defensive stats will apply. This is a hard golf course. Although Sam Burns didn't make it look that way. If it plays softer, it can get in the mid-teens. So I'm not saying that it's going to be like 9 under. I think last year's winner was 10 under, Taylor Moore. Wind would play a factor, obviously. It is on the Gulf side rather than the Atlantic side. So a little bit different there. But defensive stats are all top 15, scrambling around the green, sand saves, that kind of thing. But just reading some quotes on what players are saying, the greens themselves aren't very severe. They are grainy and can be quick in certain places, but they're not greens where you worry a whole lot about your speed control. You can be aggressive with the putter, especially if the course is obviously a little bit more soft and receptive. So you want guys that don't leave it short, that kind of thing. I like what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be looking for specifics like POA, overseed putting, and that nature. It should be pretty similar to what it was at Sawgrass, from what I hear. But what I'll be looking for is guys that are got positive regression for putting and that are moving in a positive direction on a rolling report, that kind of thing. So, scoring. Once again, it's very similar in scoring to what you had at Sawgrass and Arnold Palmer especially. You have to attack those par fives. Those are the 4 that you can score on. Then you have hole number 12, short par 4. You can attack that. So basically, all the rest of them, you're going to be gaining strokes on the field by avoiding catastrophe, playing solid tee to green, and then you just hope your putter clicks for you and you're going to have success. I believe the field looks pretty strong, but I think 6 of 6s in daily fantasy will be on the lower side, definitely under 10%. I think it'll be pretty high variance. You're going to see some chalky guys fail to make the cut once again. And there are some guys that are very suspect that will be top flight players in this tournament that missed the cut at Sawgrass. So say players like not Xander Schauffele. Xander Schauffele is listed in the field. He is currently leading or tied, last I checked. If he wins the Players, I wouldn't put it past him to just WD from this tournament and, 4.5 million in FedEx points. You're sitting in the driver's seat. You get that kind of a lift in a huge event like that. So we'll see what happens with him. Patrick Cantlay's in the field. Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Tony Finau, Willie Z, Zalatoris, Thagala having a great week. Thagala is one of those volatile guys where I could see him being 5 over in the first 8 holes or 6 under making the turn. He's crazy. Keegan Bradley's there. Sam Burns has won this twice back to back. His chance for a three-peat fell short. He finished 6th. So Sam Burns playing pretty good golf right now. So he's going to be very popular. That's kind of my top tier. Tier 2, I've got guys. Eric Cole is borderline tier 2. He disappointed me. I thought he would get it back together, but this is more of a course to his suiting. He's not very accurate, but that guy can scramble and putt. So I'm thinking he gets back to the basics on a course that is harder. Bezadenhout, Seabez playing really good golf. He's not a guy that's got a lot of experience here if he's played it at all. But Daniel Berger's back in the field after taking a few weeks off. Daniel Berger is the type of player, low ball flight off the tee, that could get it done here. He wins hard tournaments. Adam Hadwin, disappointed cut last week, but has a good record here. Likes harder courses, putts good on POA. Billy Ho, definitely back playing Billy Ho golf again. He's got a chance to come in and shine. So Sung J M is in the field. He's been looking a little bit better. Minwoo Lee, Keith Mitchell. Those are kind of my tier 2 guys. Keith Mitchell killed me this weekend with his poor play Saturday and Sunday. I don't know what he finished at, but he shot 76 Saturday. He was 3 over last time I saw him earlier. Very disappointing with one of my good 6 of 6s, but them's the breaks, right? Tier 3, defending champion Taylor Moore. I always love him on hard courses. Monty Taylor Montgomery. He's rounding back in, and that dude can putt from anywhere on the green. Mav McNeely, you see how good he's playing. He's a guy that can get it done here. Carson Young, accurate off the tee. This course, I don't know. It might be a little bit on the tough side. Might be too long for him because he's not long off the tee. Dylan Wu is another one that's very accurate off the tee. He's getting it done this week. Ben Griffin, Doug Gim. Those are a couple other names that I kind of thought. But just to sum it up, as far as guys, Justin Thomas, JT, grinding my gears last week, along with Rory McIlroy too. I expect guys to miss some putts here and there, and they're going to make their bogeys. But the unforced, stupid mistakes these guys made, unacceptable. The chipping, just poor chipping. JT lost 3.3 strokes putting on Friday to sink his weekend. That's cause for alarm. Every time you think he's starting to figure things out, he just does that. He was bad accuracy-wise. The two things that kill him whenever he doesn't play well, wild off the tee, piss poor putting. Both of those came together last week. So I don't know. Maybe he can sort himself out. It is a harder course, a more grinding type course. So maybe he comes to better prepared. He was never going to go 20 deep in the players golf tournament. So, if you want to give him another chance, he's a guy that could go maybe overlooked, but I don't know. It depends on pricing. Spieth was another one in the same boat. He sucked. But like I said, Xander is winning the players. Tony Finau, I like him on tight courses, hard golf courses, but he hasn't played this event since 2018. So, Taylor Moore, like I said already, golf courses. Seabez, good fit, solid with the irons. Short game is there. He did struggle. He played here in 2022 and lost a ton of strokes, barely making the cut, lost a ton putting, but I think that was his only appearance. So, plenty of research to do this week. So, I appreciate you kicking it off with me. Best of luck, and we will see you soon.